These are the scariest episodes in Squid Game. But first, we'll be looking at one of the most terrifying, Season 1, Episode 7, After the Marbles Game. The VIPs show up to watch the show. The remaining players get taken to a room where there are 16 mannequins, each wearing a vest numbered from 1 to 16. Since the players have no idea what's coming, most of them pick numbers in the middle, thinking that's the safest bet. And then there's Gi-hun. He goes to pick number 1 but hesitates, and luckily for him, some random guy begs to switch numbers because he really wants to go first. Gi-hun, being the guy he is, agrees and ends up with 16. Then they see the game, and that's when it clicks. The first guy starts regretting everything. You see, the game is pure brutality. The players have to cross a long bridge, but each step is a gamble. The bridge is made up of glass panels, and half of them are made of regular glass that shatters under the weight of a person. Step on the wrong one, that's instant death. The other half are made of tempered glass, which can hold up to 2 people. But they all look exactly the same. There's no way to tell the difference just by looking. And to make things worse, there's a 16-minute time limit. So standing around and waiting was just not an option. And yeah, Gi-hun had the advantage of going last, but that also meant his fate was entirely in everyone else's hands. If the players before him didn't make it far enough, he wouldn't even get a chance to try. He could have just been left standing there, forced to rush through blindly in the final seconds. It was a gamble either way. Watch and wait, or go early and risk it all. And man, let's talk about the saddest elimination in this game, the Glassmaker. This dude was the only reason Gi-hun, Sang-woo, and Sabyok even had a shot at making it across. While everyone else was just guessing, he actually had the skills to tell tempered glass from regular glass. He used his experience, analyzed the reflections, and carefully got them much closer to the end, step by step. For the first time in this game, there was something other than pure luck involved. But then, just as they were getting close to the finish line, the VIPs decided it was too easy. They turned off the lights, completely ruining his only method of telling the difference. And that's when Sang-woo saw his chance. The guy hesitated, trying to figure out the next step, and before he could make a move, Sang-woo just shoved him off. It was really painful to watch at the time. Now, this game has to be the most messed up one among them. Sure, getting shot in the head is bad, but at least it's quick. Imagine standing there, feeling the glass crack under your feet, knowing you're about to drop, fall at full speed, and smash into the ground. Also, being reliant on luck to make it through the games makes it so much scarier. Glass Bridge is insane, but that's nothing compared to the next one. Now, let's talk about another episode which was just as terrifying as the Glass Bridge one, maybe even more. It's episode 5 and 6 from Season 2, which has the Ming Game. Now, you might not remember what the Ming Game is. It's the one with that cute song and they go around on a platform and should get into the room. So this game comes after the 6-legged pentathlon, which was another pretty intense game. At first it seemed kind of simple. That cute little song plays, everyone walks around on the platform, and when the music stops, a number is called. If it's 4, you grab 3 others and rush into a room. Easy, right? Yeah, no. If you don't get into a group fast enough, you will be eliminated. If your group has too many or too few, still eliminated. And all of this, it had to be done in 30 seconds. Now, for the social ones, this was already stressful. But for introverts, a literal death sentence. You had to be quick, cutthroat, and ready to ditch people at a moment's notice. And that's what made it so much worse. This game doesn't have anything to do with skill or luck. 1 second you're part of a solid group, the next they're shoving you out because they don't need an extra person. And the worst part, people started to realize that physical force worked just as well as strategy. If a room was full, you could just rip someone out and take their place. If your team had too many, well, you could always fix that problem. The rules didn't say how to get the right number of people, just that you had to. And that's why Mingale is easily one of the most brutal games yet. You can't plan ahead, you can't predict what number's coming next. And even if you think you're safe, the game keeps going until the organizers feel like stopping. And then there's Youngmi's death, easily the worst part of it all. The issue with Glass Bridge was that it was random, but in this one, you just have to leave someone behind. Think that was the scariest one? Not even close. Now, episode 6 from season 1, and Fit as it happens, now episode 6 from season 1, and It as it happens. So they start by asking players to pair up with a partner for the game. Naturally, everyone starts picking based on logic, strength, intelligence, trust. Most avoid the weaker players, the women, the elderly, because they assume this will be another physically demanding challenge. Gi-hun hesitates, struggling to find someone, until he finally pairs up with Il-nam, the old man who's been sticking by him since the beginning. Then they get to the playground. Everyone's kind of curious, but not too worried. I mean, they're playing with someone they like, right? Should be fine. And that's when it hits. Yeah, you had to play against the one person you picked, the one person you trusted, and only one of you was making it out. At first, no one even wants to start. How could they? But there's a 30-minute timer, and if they don't play, they both die. So they start. There were some brutal matchups. Ji Hunwi's Il-nam, Sang-woo vs Ali, Sabyak vs Ji-young, and honestly, watching it was just tense. You couldn't predict what was going to happen. Every second felt like it could be someone's last. And that damn guard standing there just waiting to shoot made it even worse. Ji-hun barely makes it through, but not without guilt. He had to cheat to win. Il-nan wasn't even mad, just accepted it, which somehow made it worse. That was already heartbreaking, but then there was Sang-woo and Ali. Ali won. He actually won. But Sang-woo? Man, that guy was ruthless. Knowing he can't accept defeat, he manipulates him. He tricked Ali, made him believe he had a plan, and stole all his marbles. And then Ali, calling out for him as the timer ran out. That one was just really sad to watch. And then there's Chi-young and Sabyak, perhaps the most bittersweet of all. Chi-young never really cared about winning, because she never really cared about life. Instead of strategizing, she spends her last moments just talking with Sabyak, sharing stories, forming a connection, and when it finally comes time to play, she throws the game on purpose, handing Sabyak the win. And for the first time, we actually saw Sabyak break. And that's exactly why this game was just too scary. You never knew what to expect or who would die. No matter what, someone had to go. And the worst part, they were some of our favorite characters. There was no way around it, no way to outsmart the game. Even if you won, like Ali, you could still end up dead, because trust meant nothing in there. This has to be one of the most disturbing or scariest episodes on there. Damn sure. All the worst ones came from a game. But what about something far worse that wasn't even one? Episode 4 from season 1 wasn't scary because of a game. It was scary because of what happened outside of it. It all started after the players returned from a game expecting to be fed, but instead of a proper meal, they were each given just one egg and a drink. That's it. Obviously, no one was happy about it, but some, like Deok-soo, were really pissed. So what did he and his squad do? They just got back in line and grabbed more food, taking advantage of the lack of rules. The problem? The food was portioned exactly for the number of remaining players. So when the last 5 people went to get their meal, there was nothing left. One of them, frustrated and starving, tried to take food from Deok-soo. And what did Deok-soo do? He stomped the guy to death, literally. Now, at this point, you'd expect some kind of punishment, right? Like, you can't just go around killing people. But nope, they just came in, took the body away and left. And to top it off, the prize money increased right after, confirming that killing was just as valid a way to win as surviving the games. That's when it hit. There are no rules against killing each other. If you wanted to win, you didn't have to rely on luck or skill anymore, just pure violence. Deok-soo and his squad caught on to this fast, but they weren't the only ones. Everyone realized that if they wanted to stay alive, they needed a team. Ji-hun and his team also prepare for what's coming. The lights go off, and not even 5 seconds later, Deok-soo stabs a woman in the neck. And just like that, it's total madness. People are going wild, stabbing, smashing, just full-on massacring each other. And it's pitch black, so you can't even see what's happening, just hear the screams. It doesn't stop until the old man Il-nam begs for it to end. The front man, watching everything, finally decides to stop it, but by then, so many people are already dead. Just imagine if the old man hadn't said anything. I don't even think Ji-hun and his group would have survived. They would all be done for. Now, this episode was just really terrifying. I mean, just imagine waking up in the middle of all that madness. And if you were an introvert or a solo player with no squad to back you up, you were pretty much done for. This one was so messed up that it even crossed the levels of some of the actual games. However, the next episode was so much scarier for a weird reason. Now, for the scariest episode of them all. Yep, none other than episode 1, season 1, Red Light, Green Light. This is where it all started. started. The very first episode of Squid Game introduces us to the game in the most brutal way possible. It actually starts with a flashback to a childhood game, Squid Game itself. The rules are simple. Attackers must reach a small closed-off spot while defenders try to push them out. If you're out, you lose. Then we meet our main guy, Ji-hun. His life is a complete mess, drowning in debt, addicted to gambling, and barely making ends meet. He somehow wins some money betting on horses, but before he can enjoy it, loan sharks remind him of his real problems. He owes way more, 160 million won to loan sharks, 250 million to banks. They make him sign a contract with his bloody fingerprint, basically threatening to take his organs if he doesn't pay up. To top it off, he tries to win his daughter a gift from a claw machine and ends up giving her a lighter shape like a gun. Yeah, great choice. Then comes that moment. Ji-hun meets a mysterious salesman in a suit who offers him a simple deal. Play a game of Dakshi, that's slap tile game, win and you get 100,000 won, lose, you owe the same amount. But since Ji-hun is broke, the salesman improvises. Every time Ji-hun loses, he just gets slapped in the face instead. After countless slaps, he finally wins and is given a business card. The salesman tells him there are only a few spots left in something much bigger. Now, desperate for money, Ji-hun calls the number. He gets picked up, gassed, unconscious, and wakes up in a giant dormitory with 455 other contestants, all wearing identical green tracksuits. They're all in debt, just like him. Strange, masked guards in red hoodies explain that they'll be playing 6 games over 6 days. The prize? Still a mystery. Then, red light, green light begins. At first, everyone is pretty chill. It's just a kid's game, right? When the giant doll turns its head, you run. When it stops, you freeze. Easy. But then, bam! One player moves slightly after the red light and he gets shot. And then, as you would expect, it's just panic. Players start running for their lives, screaming, but there's no escaping. The guards gun them down. This is when everyone realizes eliminated doesn't mean out of the game, it means dead, and Ji-hun barely makes it. At one point he almost falls, but Elise saves him at the last second. By the time the game ends, nearly half the players are dead. Just like that. So why is this episode the scariest? Because it was the first. Nobody, neither the players nor us as the audience, knew what to expect. We went in thinking this was just some intense survival game, but then people started getting executed. Also, that creepy doll song. That thing haunted many fans during the time it was released. And yeah, some might still wonder, why mostly episodes from Season 1? Well, because it was all new to us. Sure, Season 2 had some brutal moments, but by then we were used to it. But this was the first taste of how Squid Game really worked. And it really worked as it was supposed to. If you thought this video was good, you have to watch the other video on screen.